can actually like write up something like a Twitter thread, but like on Threads, and then you can actually publish it to like Instagram, so, which some people like when they would screenshot a tweet and then basically upload it one by one onto Instagram if they
Yeah.
wanted to share that. That's actually one good thing that they have about it is like the how they integrated Instagram with Threads. But other than that, though, it's very bland.
Hmm.
Right. Do we want to get this thing started?
Let's
I'm
do
good.
it.
Is everyone here? Who are we waiting for? I feel like there's probably people missing.
Is Todd joining us?
Que sera, it'll be here in a moment. A few minutes was his
Hear me?
quote. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's good. Okay.
Volume. Should we do a volume check with the audience and everybody? Since we're all new. Volcran, how's your volume?
Everybody sounds good. How do I sound?
Oh, you sound
That sounds
like
great.
you got your
Amazing.
radio voice. Radio voice.
Awesome.
Well, it's nice to be back on the computer because you can use your actual headset and mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I like so much more compared to having to use the phone.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we should get started, right? So, well, Kesara, it's just coming, but for now, well, welcome to the July 21st AMA. So this is actually, it's been a year since we started doing this AMA. We'll have a little, something regarding that later on, but that we meet to share what's going on with everyone, answer questions, share news, what's going on with the game, with the team, and what new features and NFTs you can expect coming down the pipeline. So thank you everybody for coming. I know that we changed to Discord kind of last minute. You know why? We won't get into that, but I know that a lot of people like that. So expect that we'll probably be also in YouTube Live starting next week. That's what we're working on as a gala, not only as Townstar team. So we'll actually do it here, and it will be at the same time live stream too, so we can also reach other people. And okay, so Miss Farmer Michelle, what's going on with the game?
Oh, let's see here. What are we talking about? I think you've got all of the original starting points here at the top.
Yeah, it seems like I'm the man here. So
you are.
Okay, so first thing, thank you everybody. It's been 1 year doing these AMAs. I've really enjoyed. I haven't been here the whole time in the AMA specifically, but I've had a blast every time that I come here. So thank you everybody. It's been great. And in commemoration of that, we'll have the following 2 weeks be cake competitions. So we'll be doing cake, different types of cake, of course, for the next 2 weeks. Hey, Farmer Mitchell, what's your favorite cake?
I was thinking about this yesterday after we decided that we were going to talk about our favorite kind of cakes. And I do think that my favorite kind of cake is coffee cake, but I'm not 100% sure if that actually counts as cake or if that's like a pastry at this point.
Good choice.
So, but I do love coffee cake. So that's what I'm going to go with.
That's great. Vulcan, what do you like?
German chocolate.
Oh, you guys, yeah, okay. Sage, what do you think?
I'm tempted to say something funny like bunt cake, but I actually like angel food cake.
Oh, wow.
Cool. So last one, Ninja Surprise. What do you like?
Diabetic. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm offended. I'm kidding. I would say like just like a plain vanilla cake. To be fair.
Okay. I think this is something controversial for our U.S. audience, but I'm Chilean, and we hate U.S. cakes. It's like so much cream, and like we have some great cakes here. So anyone come here, you'll be pleasantly surprised by cakes. We have something called thousand leaves. I think everyone loves that.
1,000 leaves, like leaves
Yeah,
on a tree.
It's like layers. Sorry, maybe 1,000 layers would be the best way to describe it.
Okay.
It's pretty good. So yeah, so thank you everybody for a year of AMAs. So Cake, for the next 2 competitions, we'll have more details soon. Beyond that, I just want to take a minute to address a couple things. So these 2 weeks of Cake is not isolated. We'll keep bringing back older metas where we will mix in jewelry competitions here and there, but expect a lot of previous metas coming back in the coming months. We have some exciting content in the line for jewelry too, but we also want you guys to use your older NFTs and be comfortable with metas that you have experienced before, with some twists, of course. We're also putting extra focus in the following weeks on finish up certain features. More details with Vulcan soon. Bug fixes, bringing back all remaining content from Townstar Legacy and solving any issues with the NFTs that have already been ported. This will not affect priorities for the following, which is mobile and FTUE. Those things are too important for us. But we are putting kind of breaking some other things that we had in the pipeline so we can focus solely on fixing some of the issues that you guys have reported. For example, we delivered the fireworks last week. I think that was greatly received. So we are moving on with that for other things. I know we have Haunted Maze bugs and a couple more things. So expect us to keep delivering on that front in the following weeks. Then next up, you guys may know that Comic-Con is going on right now, Comic-Con 2023 in San Diego. So Gala is present there. We have a big presence. There's a lot of people from the company there. And this is a big marketing effort, not only for Townstar, but for everybody in the company. So all the projects. So expect new players coming into Discord. So please be kind, be helpful to help them get started. And if you can teach them, the basics or redirect them to anything we have regarding this is how you can start it. This is how you are gas positive. Those kind of things are super helpful for everybody. Now, something you may really like with this is that in commemoration of Comic-Con, we're doing special discounts in the store. So you get 30% discount in anything that's 3 months or older, and 50% discount in anything that's 6 months and older. And to get that discount, you gotta use the coupon SDCC23. Other products in the company also have discounts or promotions, so please check the store, check the site, and check what other products are doing because there's a lot of cool things going on. And this will be active until Monday, 11 a.m. PST, and it's already available. So if you go and use that coupon, you should be able to redeem that right now. If you guys attend that, just be aware that there's a pack of NFTs from all Gala projects for people who are attending there. There's also an event in a brewery in the area. So if you're there, you gotta scan some QR or something, and you'll get a pack of NFTs. And as a Townstar team, we added one cool item that we'll talk about soon for people who are present there in the Comic-Con. Sage, do you want to talk about the schedule? There's anything to share there?
I just popped it up there. It's at the Mission Brewery, and we started yesterday, had an event. Today, noon to 4, you go there. There's beers, there's tacos, I think. Get to play some of the latest games, not Townstar, but you'll get to play Spider Tanks if you want. Last Expedition, they've got a new build there. Tweety's got a build there. And then also Mirandus. There's also a couple mobile games set up for people to play. I believe, what do we got? Dragon Strike, Meow Match, Champions Arena, and Eternal Paradox, I think, as well. Why not Townstar? Just room and space, Jetty. Room and space. It's and people are like, well, what do you mean? Why don't you get enough space? Well, actually, we got this location because if you guys know, the actor strike is going on in Hollywood, and as that started coming up, a lot of movie studios started pulling out. Movie and entertainment studios started pulling out of Comic-Con, and so literally about 14 days ago, we got that note that there's some space available, panel space available, so we just jumped on it. So yeah, so that's going on there. It's at Mission Brewery. I didn't get the link for that. Let me just see if we can find that real quick. If you guys want to go out and join in the fun, check out some people. I know Bitbender is going to be there. Who else? A couple people from Last Expedition team. And yeah, it's a pretty fun time. So go get some free food and enjoy yourself.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So yes, check that out. Check the store. Use the coupon. It's only until Monday, very early. So make use of that. And if you're in the area, just try to grab that pack of NFTs. Farmer Michelle, what's next?
Oh, we've made it to the point where I need to remind everybody to turn your town into Gala. That does end September 15th or so. So if you have not yet burnt your town that's in your wallet into Gala, get on that. Get it done. Let's move on to any social media updates. Ninja Surprise, you got anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, I want to start sharing that Zeely leaderboard because we've been having some really fire memes coming out. So I've been seeing, some community members putting in a lot of hard work. So I want to, give them some recognition. But yeah, we've had in the top 3 right here, Druff, Solus, and Zyhan. So yeah, I've been seeing some really cool content being produced by you guys. And, if you haven't checked out a Zeely board yet, be sure to do that. I actually am going to be putting out a link very soon for anybody that wants to claim 50 for just attending today. You can get 50 Zeely XP for attending the AMA. Additionally, I want to encourage a little competition with the memes here because I've been seeing some really cool ones from you guys. And right now, I'm going to try to do a little weekly vote for the top NFTs that I personally like. And right now, I just started this today. So the XP for what exactly? We're going to be basically deciding about like what we are going to be putting out for it. So right now it's a secret, but we are pretty much like working on something for that. But yeah, if you guys want to basically put in a vote right now for the top between these top 4 memes of the week, feel free to do so. Then other than that, the other thing that I posted was I posted this a couple of days ago, but we have a little comic panel that was done. Something cool is really going to be coming by, and something really super. And Pablo is going to be telling us a little bit about that later. So, that's all that we have for social media.
Awesome, thank you. That Zeely leaderboard's super cool. I can't wait to see all the different memes that come up out of that.
Yeah, they're definitely really awesome.
Where are we here? I
I
lost
just
my
shared
page.
a quick image there as they're getting. This is part of the getting Comic-Con set up yesterday in the brewery. Just give you a little bit sense of atmosphere. All the stuff that the event team put up on the wall, the nice systems that they set up.
Oh, that looks super cool. Wish I was there.
And tacos.
All right, let's move on to game updates with Musashi.
Hey, yeah. Oh, it's weird that you guys call me Musashi. Sorry, on Twitter, I always have my name. So, so game updates this week. We released a couple times, and we have a bunch of fixes. So, we did some general server optimizations. There was a mismatch of stars in town and in the leaderboard. That's been fixed. There are further optimizations coming for that, though. There was a bunch of issues with non-stacking buffs in Diamond Warehouse and Supreme Storehouse, and a couple other things. And we fixed a bunch of priority issues, like, for example, tomato crop, copper panel slide, and silver panel slide. The 3D Gemworks NFT had an issue with its units. Now it's corrected. It has 3 units. The Arcane Ring price reduction issue was fixed, and we added more mobile optimizations. So, for example, camera panning while using placement tool. Expect more mobile optimizations very soon. And regarding additions, so we did some changes to the Foundry and Smith's crafting time crafting time. The tooltip when you select something, when you select a tree or a building, there's a little tooltip that appears with a little information. we reduced the time on that a little bit, just to simplify the process and the UI. We added the Panner Bunkhouse as a building, and of course the competition meta, which was bracelets and chandelier earrings. And for NFTs, there were several NFTs: the Blueprint Crafty Copper Panning Site, the June Retention NFT Copper Ore Storage, the Green Forge, the Arcane Ring, and Thrifty Foundry Blueprint NFTs. So a bunch of things went into the game between additions, modifications, and fixes this week. So thanks to the team for that. And yeah, those are the updates. Michelle?
All right. What is coming next for the game?
What is coming next? So, before you go ahead, Fulcrum, just a little thing. So I mentioned at the beginning, I see that some people have joined since then, but we are doing a particularly focused effort in the next weeks to bring back all NFTs that didn't make the cut for May 1st, when we release the developed version. We're fixing on some NFTs that have still some broken functionality, like the Haunted Maze. We're going to fix some gameplay related bugs, and so for example, what we did with fireworks, you'll see more of that in the following week. So that's mainly what's coming next for the game, along with our other priorities that we announced before: mobile, which you've seen some changes already, and F2UE for an influx of new players that we're expecting at some point soon. Vulcan?
Hey, that's awesome. Yeah, there's been so much work that's gone out. I've been pretty much heads down on some of the stuff that's a little more deeper, especially the fast forward. So I'll describe just real quick some of the stuff that's fixed and it's currently being tested and in QA, and I'll talk a little bit about some of the enhancements, and then post a couple screenshots into Discord. So 4 important fixes, like you already mentioned, Musashi, the leaderboard in sync with the town now. For anybody who's curious, how that got fixed or why it was out of sync. You got thousands of people and thousands of transactions per second and all that. It has to line up, and the saving of your town is different than this massive, bubblegum wall of leaderboard updates. So there was some synchronizing we had to do there. Had to fix there was a rare case where the server would crash when a player quit. Fix that. It's actually kind of hard to track down, hard to repro. The important one for this week is if you connect to your town twice in 2 separate browsers, the backend coordinates it now and kicks you out of your first session. The intent, one, is that you're only supposed to play your town from one computer at one time. Sometimes people make honest mistakes, right? The other is if people don't want to do fast forward and they want to leave it running, on their home machine or whatever, and they're like, oh shoot, I forgot to turn it off. And they go to work. It'll kick them off their home machine when they log in from work. And the other there was a rare case where players could get, if you would start a fast forward, and then you would close the browser because it was taking too long, or you legitimately got network troubles or whatever. There was a rare case where you would get actually locked out of that town. So we fixed that. Those are the main fast forward fixes. Some of the enhancements now that we're testing are, again, this is about fast forwarding or offline mode, making sure that we don't send your rewards like stars, for example, and cash until the end of the fast forward. There's just so many unique ways that you could abort a fast forward event. Had to really dig into a lot of those edge cases. So caching that, waiting till it's done before sending a save, and we're also going to start keeping track in greater detail all the trades that people's towns make. Rather than just kind of batching it and things like that, it's going to, if you've ever worked in a high velocity billing system or something, it's similar to that. So think about transactional DBs and things like that. So other things, I'll just kind of skip over these real fast. Improved authentication, quicker timeouts, and all that. Of course, we're optimizing it. That's ongoing, right? Probably no end to that until it takes a millisecond to fast forward. Let me share a quick little screenshot in chat. Volcronville sales log. Maybe. So what you're going to see now, that little globe there. I talked about this last week. Was we have to have a balance between a seamless play. Like you don't want the game to freeze if there's a network hiccup, right? Until it's been reconciled. But you also need to know when there's a legitimate, like, hey, yes, you're still connected to the server, but there's trouble saving. Maybe the competition ended and there was a hiccup or something. Yeah, so you will see, thanks, Jetty. So you will see the little globe with the warning. It'll kind of blink and let you know. What that means is, hey, yes, you're still playing. It's still server authoritative, but saves are not happening. So rather than trying to fix 100% of all the edge cases where people were getting perceived rollbacks, we're just going to put a thing up there on the client that says, oh man, look at all those fire reacts. This is great. Yeah, I know it was really painful for some people. That says, hey, a save has not occurred in, let's say, 90 seconds. Warning, basically refresh your game. So that's a big one that's important. And let me show you 2 towns real quick. Well, this is going to be a tiny screenshot. This was me on the left. I loaded one browser. On the right, I loaded a second browser. I loaded the same town in 2 separate browsers. And if you hit, because we have, I won't tell you the number, but we have quite a few backend servers. If you hit on the left, one server, and then you hit on the right, a separate server, the coordination behind those is better now to say, okay, if you hit the same one, you'd get kicked out easily, like it'd do a gray screen. But if you happen to go across 2, now the first one's going to be like, oh, I'm not authorized to save. Maybe something's going on. So you're going to get that little globe. What this means is basically, again, assuming the best of people, honest mistakes, maybe you had 2 browsers up or whatever. We don't want your towns overriding each other. We just kill that first connection. Yeah. And then, I think this is cute. I'm going to share this real quick. Some people commented that they were like, oh, what? The game looks frozen or whatever. So we just had this little spinner, like a lot of games, especially like AAA FPSs, even Skyrim, things like that. You will see stutter on the little spin as your machine loads all that stuff into RAM at the very end of the loading sequence there. So TLDR, play in one window, one browser, you'll be okay. And we're looking forward to getting fast forward through the testing and seeing it next week. Back to you, Mr. Musashi or Farmer Michelle.
Yeah, I think we're moving on to Q&A now. I only propped up a couple of questions because we had a lot to talk about this week, so I wasn't sure how fast we were going to get through it.
Hey, I just want to jump in real fast.
Yeah.
I shared, so Gala's got a donut truck. I think it's outside the Hilton in San Diego. If you're in the area, stop by, say hello, get a free donut. It's right by one of the major convention center hotels. So if you're there, have fun. If not, we all of us who are not there wish we were there to have that donut too.
All right. So the first Q&A question I have is about autocomplete for building construction when you're playing. It says, is there any reason to turn off the auto construction to give players the option to turn it on when it's ready to start the production?
Yeah, so classic behavior, right? Yeah, we want right now to things to default to start working as soon as they're done completing. Mostly for offline play was the biggest decision behind that. So, for example, you're going to build 4 warehouses, or you're going to build 4 wind generators, pumps. You want those to happen while you go offline. You don't want to be like, oh, shoot, it sat there for a few hours and didn't do anything. So that's our main thing. Maybe there will be a UI one day, but probably not. We want everybody to have the same options when they play. So for now, that's staying how it is.
All right. The next question I have here says, where is Townstar on the priority list of the Gala Chain team compared to other games? When can we expect Townstar to move over to Gala Chain?
I'll jump in. We are right there at near the top. I think everything is cleared. The background tech is is completed. So then it's just up to execution on the team. Pablo, you want to talk about that? Toss it over to you. Let you continue.
Sorry? Yeah,
I'll toss it over to you. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you, Sage. Yeah. So as you know, is it official? It's Gala Chain officially instead of what we call it
that's
before?
it. That's the name.
Yeah.
Gala Chain. Gala Chain.
Yes. Gala Chain is the name, guys. So no more gear or any other name that we mentioned before. We are working right now, working hard on the new light paper. We even have a review pass today with the team. So in preparation for the new earnings model, we will line up the move to Gala Chain sooner than expected. We'll have more info on this next week. But as you know, we're also prioritizing the bugs and the issues that we mentioned before. This will be a separate effort, but expect Gala Chain to be available sooner than expected.
Sooner than expected. Hey, Rocket Unit, I saw your note there about helping review. What we're going to do is do an internal review for the team, then pull in other folks like Bitbender and everything. Just get a general sanity check. Some other folks as well, like Ex Diablo. And then we'll share it out to, like we did the last one, probably Platinum and Gold. And everybody get a chance to review and then share publicly once we're really solid with that. Why is SageMaker in cosplay as Mao? I'm cosplaying as Mao?
You're not doing a very good job with the accent if you are. You gotta try a little bit harder.
Oh, good God, no, I could never do that. Mao is unique. Mao is totally unique. Anyways, yeah, maybe because I just jumped into the middle of things.
Who knows? Let's move on to our next question.
Let's move on. Yes, let's move forward.
The next question I have here says, where on the priority list sits the provision of an API for Townstar? If the team provides an API, the community will make a leaderboard. And that's most of the question.
Yeah, I mean, we are providing the leaderboard, and that's one of the fixes that we're gonna do. I know we know that there are some issues with it, but as we said before, we are prioritizing doing all NFTs and fixing the current issues in the game, including the leaderboard. Now the leaderboard does work. When you have a finalized event, you can be sure that that's exactly the stars that people got. So don't worry about that. But we will get to an API. It's just not our highest priority. As a first step, though, we want to ask you guys about the functionality that you want from the API. I know that some people have mentioned different things. I just want to get a clear idea of what the priorities are in general for most people, so we can concentrate on that. So we want to more directly work on the things that everyone wants, right? So expect Farmer Michelle to do a poll or a form next week to try to gauge the interest on specific API calls that you guys want. So that's what I can say regarding that for now.
Awesome. That's all I had for live questions. We flew through all of this very fast, or pre-loaded questions. Are there any other live questions out here before we move on to leaks and stuff?
Let's see. Anyone see any questions? Why is the game only 2 days? From PD Renee. I'm guessing he means the current competition.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Usually it's 3 days. The reason that it's usually 3 days is because we do votes periodically and polls within the community, and that's what won most recently, and what won in this one that we just did last week we started a survey, and that again was 72 hours was what the community wanted, so that's what we settled on. This one just happens to be 1 day shorter because we delayed the start day by 1 day, and we still wanted to make sure that we had time on Friday to push all the game updates and not have to do it over the weekend, so we left it to end on Friday like usual.
Hey guys, I have a request. Do you think maybe we can jump in and share art? Since I have this, just for everybody in the audience, I have a large group of family members currently gathering at my house, knocking on my door. I'm gonna have to jump off soon. Can I just jump the art in there? Jump spots, put art in? Okay. Good, I should have had this ready to drop in there. Okay, so we've got, oh my God, there's so much art to share today. let me just go ahead and start pulling these puppies up, and I'll drop them in there one at a time so that you guys can see them. We've been talking about working on characters for a long time. So you can drop these puppies in there. You can see a lot of it is, the work that happens there is really about making sure that we don't waste polys on stuff that people can't see. When we, if you like focus on eyebrows and whatnot, you're like, well, how big is that going to actually be on the screen? And does that really matter? Or are we just going to end up flushing a bunch of performance down the tube with, cracks on facial lines and everything like that? So a lot of work happening on that. And then also new sets of buildings coming online, both concept art and also the modeling. I'm going to show you an example here of something that's interesting and give you a little bit of a background on what it's like to go from concept to art. And we're going to go ahead and look at this one here. So here is, when we look at the wild clover, so on the left side was the old art, the right side is the concept, right? And then we send it out to the third-party house. They go ahead and do some modeling, and we get something that looks like that, which is very similar to the original concept art, but a little bit different, and a little bit, in this case, it feels like a little bulky maybe. So part of the process we do is we create the concepts, send it to the art house, they do some work on it, then do another maybe 1 or 2 rounds back with them just to get it locked in. So there's that. Let's drop in some more here. Like I said, there's a lot of work that's happening, a lot of stuff happening pretty quick. And as we get lined up for, really get lined up to drop in all this art, change the look of the game. Okay, here we go. And then some last final pieces here. We are still working on, still trying to let's get this big old piece of art loaded up there. Still working hard on getting the wizard tower to the right size and shape and proportion there. It just is pretty much dominating the screen. You guys know how big it looks there on the screen. So we're working. In fact, the last meeting we just had with Gina and the team was to try to figure out how do we shrink that size down there. Right? How do we get that to give you a little bit more view space on the game board? Also, make it a little easier to click around behind it. And then, the other thing that most people don't think about, if we're ever going to create, I don't know, airships, blimps, planes, or stuff like that fly over the board, when you have a massively giant tower in the middle of it, that creates so much issues for unwanted intersections and weird light pathfinding issues. So anyways, that's all the art that we have there to share with everybody. A lot of good work happening behind the scene. A lot of work going to try to get this stuff fixed up and ready for everybody. And that's all I got there, guys.
That looks amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, it does. Were there any other live questions here in the chat before we move on? I was trying to pay attention as I was trying to pin art. I didn't see any questions. Yeah, I don't see. At least no one tagged me in any questions.
I get the cosplay reference now to Manuel. The picture there with Palpatine. The one that I love, Mal, would always pop up there. Make me laugh every single time.
I
anybody-
see a
I was
question
gonna
from
say,
Peace of Mind.
nobody
Sorry,
was
I was
talking.
trying to read questions. LV Postman said that I didn't answer his question, but then didn't repost the question, so I don't know what the question was. I was just trying to find it. I've got one from Peace of Mind asking if the time of day toggle will be in next week or not.
I don't think
Does anybody
so.
know?
Yeah,
Okay.
I haven't seen that in anybody's priority list for this week.
Yeah, I think we're prioritizing old stuff like we've been talking about, so we're getting old NFTs fixed and getting all of that done before we move on to any other new stuff again. So you may just have to be patient while we do old stuff. We can't do all of it at the same time, guys. If we could just snap our fingers and make it all happen, believe me, we would. I see a question from I don't know. My Discord is minimizing people's names, so all I see is the letter P that asks if the leaderboard is accurate. And yes, the leaderboard is accurate. There's a question from Zeke asking if we can get an auto build to test our builds. I don't think there's anything like that in the plans to like have a server where you can speed it up really fast and just auto build your towns. Don't think that there's a plan for that. Any other live questions? Next meta we already said was cakes. This one next meta will be fancy cake. The one after that will be decorated cake. Yes, Tantrum, I see your feature request. That's not really a question. It is a feature request. Please put it in the feature request form. That's what it's there for. All right, let's move on. I think that we're moving on to Masashi. I think he's got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, just a little thing. I mean, I think you guys already seen what's been leaked in Discord, but let's just put it here. Let's see. So you've been seeing the Great Escape going on. You've probably seen the leak already from the store. So I'll just go ahead for it, which is Clack of Steel, the Super Chicken. Right. So this is what we made in commemoration for the San Diego Comic-Con 2023. And well, basically, it's like in a faraway galaxy orbiting a red sun, planet Exteron, it's dying, right? And so let's resort to grieving parents say goodbye to their egg as it plays in a rocket, hoping it will reach its destination. The rocket crash landed in a farmer's field, and the egg hatching dramatically as the farmer approaches. It was a chicken. It's a it's a very sublime. It's okay. PNT. That's funny. So the farmer raised it as his own when they discovered that this chicken was special. The yellow sun of this farming themed world gave the chicken superpowers, and the chicken made a name for himself as superhero, gaining the name Super Chicken and Clock of Steel. So when this Super Chicken is in town, his majestic presence and deep sense of justice inspires all chickens to work harder and be faster. Let me put something here. So here's the Super Chicken. This is, as I said before, in commemoration for the San Diego Comic-Con. We'll have some information later, but I can tell you that people who attend the event get us like a particular drop of it. It's just as it doesn't have differences in the stats, but it's unique to the people who attend the event. And here you can see it as it will look in game. I hope you guys can check that out. That neat little video. So we have this little super chicken on top of a little skyscraper. So this is a 1/4 by 1/4 NFT. You can place it anywhere in town. And as I said before, it will use very little space. And it will basically just speed up your chickens because they feel his deep sense of justice and feel so empowered. So expect more details in a little while. And yeah, that's the background of our Super Chicken. I think the art team did a great job. Everyone did a great job. Gina and Juana, Jen, Warmack. It came out really great. Hope you guys love it. When will turkey skin work? That's part of the effort that we're doing in the next weeks, bringing back all the old content. Thank you for the question, LB Postmonth. And yeah, that's Super Chicken. So back to you, Mitchell.
All right. Somehow I have lost my second screen, so I can't see anything.
Are you there? Did we lose Farmer Michelle?
Sounded like her other monitor. Oh, look at that from No Free Lunch.
Farmer Michelle, are you okay? Are you still with us?
Can you hear me now?
We
Yeah.
can.
Hey, out of both of my computer screens are black, so now I'm back on my cell phone again. But at least you can hear me. I don't
Oh
know
my
what's next
gosh.
because I can't see our document. So someone else is gonna have to take over my running the show.
Fulcrum, you want to give it a go?
Yeah, sure. Actually, it's a question for Farmer Michelle.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Asking, like, what do you think about ways to make the game easier for new players? What do you think would be something people would like?
That's tough. First time user experience is big. I know the game definitely could use some improvement in that area for when we start to get a lot more new players in. I know previously things we've done, see, we had the guide for how to make gasoline, but it only did that one run through and then you were kind of just left to your own. We also gave, I think, new accounts for their first town like an extra 100,000 in-game cash. But then if you ruined your first town, you could only do it that one time. So hopefully in the future we'll have it so that maybe you can do a tutorial more than once, or maybe we'll have a special tutorial mode. I think that would probably be a great idea. I don't know how the community feels about that, but if we had just like a tutorial server that had guides on it,
Oh, that'd be cool.
I feel like that's pretty common in a lot of games where they just have like a space where you can go to do tutorials.
What about some starter towns that come equipped with, the refineries and water pumps and all that to make gas?
Yes, that would also be super cool because then you could just see right when you started playing what like a gasoline setup would look like, what a couple of different ones might look like, so that you kind of get the picture. Because I feel like Townstar is a big visual game, at least for me. I know I learned visually, so seeing something built, it makes more sense to like see it run and see the units walk around and see where they go and what they do and how they craft things. So coming in as a new player and seeing that would definitely be helpful, I'm sure.
Interesting. Okay.
If you all out there in the community have any suggestions for the best ways you think to do things like first time user experience, or what guides you think would be most helpful, what helped you the most when you first started playing, definitely send us some messages. I'll take all the DMs with any suggestions because we're going to start working on that pretty soon.
That's
If
awesome.
they add
Thank
something
you.
to that'd actually be really helpful for content as well. So I could definitely look to make some stuff with that as well. So yeah, it'd be really awesome to get some tips.
Yeah, that would be fun to have a try out this NFT before you buy it, kind of a thing, like a sandbox town or starter town that has, a particular NFT or a few NFTs that week. Okay. Let's see. Next up, I think we might. Are we already? We did the leaks. Where are we?
I know we did art leaks, but I don't think we did any other leaks. I'm not sure what other leaks are on the list now because I can't see my computer screen, but I think that we've got competition leaks, right?
No, before that, let's get on to what's actually going on sale. We have this feedback from you guys sometimes that we end this with the sale items and then you have doubts and we're not here to answer them. So I think we need to get into that. So I already mentioned the super chicken. I gave the intro for that. So that will be on sale. Guess that I will give the details in a minute. But we have a second item. As you know, we're doing cake, and you have a bunch of NFTs for cakes, but we're also releasing a little something in case you want to have a little edge for them. So we have a something called Brightwin, right? So this will be a shining symbol of your technological prowess in town, and it's basically a window, right? So, Kesera, what information do you have on Brightwin and on Super Chicken?
Let's start with the save NFTs. So first off, you've seen the awesome art that Gina has done. First up is coming the Super Chicken. It's a rare NFT that when you place it, it will inspire your chickens into moving 20% faster. It will be priced at $60 and it will have a 25% discount. So it will cost you $45 until the end of the competition. And it's a unique effect, so it will not stack. That's first. Now coming to the second one. Second is the Bright Wind. This is something that players have been asking for a long time. We are just doing it a little bit differently than what you guys wanted. So the Bright Wind is a windmill NFT, and no amount of shade can hinder its speed. It will be a platinum NFT. There will be 300 supply of it, but only 200 of it will be in the store. It is priced at $625, but it will have 20% discount until the end of the competition. So those are all the NFTs. Apart from this, I wanted to talk a little bit more about what you can expect in the future. As we said before, we have about 3 months of jewelry content planned, and we are trying to figure out what else we can do alongside it. So here's what we know right now. We still have 10 more weeks of jewelry content, but instead of it coming over the next few weeks, you can see it sparsed out over the next 6 months. So over the next 6 months, there will be at least 10 more weeks of jewelry content. Other than that, well, we are figuring things out. We've gotten a lot of feedback about doing multi-metas, but as you know, that's a little bit hard. So we are figuring out whether or not that will be possible, or we could do interesting takes on older metas like we did with Red Steel, if I'm not wrong. Very soon, we will be rolling out a survey to hear from you guys which metas you love the most, what variations you would like to see. So please do vote over there. I think that's all I have. Now I'll pass it back to Michelle.
I think Michelle is still
Yeah, I'm
experiencing
having.
issues, right?
Yeah, my computer is slowly turning itself back on.
It's okay. Let's go on to leaks. So you already seen the art leak, and so we're going to the next competition information. So let me see. Michelle, you can't see what we have, so maybe I can mention it.
Go for it.
Got it. So we're gonna do. Give me 1 second. I have it right here. So next competition, as you know, is cake. Now, what cake specifically? Writing it right here. 1 second. So it's fancy cake. I'm having the information in here. Sorry. Okay, there it is. So next competition is fancy cake, and the biome will be forest east, and your edges will be forest north, forest east, ocean south, and west, and river on the west. Your initial cash will be 25,000. The trade gas will be 1 gas. The trade time will be 120 seconds for both land and water. And there will be a cash boost for sugar and egg. So that's the information. It will be posted later, but I'll repeat. The biome is forests. There's an ocean and a river, and the time is 120 seconds. And sugar and egg are cash boost. The information or the text are there in the. I sent a message with the card for the competition. You'll see it in the game in a few hours. And after that, there's a reminder that we have the silver ore storage NFT. Of course, for the month of July. So that's the next one. You know the rules, how to get it. So just play the game as much as you can, and you'll get better silver ore storage depending on how much you play. So I think those are our leaks. Anyone else has anything else to leak or any information you want to give?
I see a question in the Discord wondering what the NFT prize was for this competition that ends in a couple hours. I don't believe it was ever announced.
For the current competition? No, go ahead, Kisara. Kisara, are you there?
Yes, sorry. Yes, the prize for this week's competition is going to be crafty copper knowledge. It's like it's a blueprint that will reduce the crafting time of copper in your forges, as well as it will reduce the crafting time of copper jump rings in your foundries.
Let's see. So I have something right here. Where is it? Crafty copper. Let's see. Yep. So here's the crafty copper in all its versions. Can you see it in Discord?
Sure can.
Yes.
So that's the reward for the current competition. More details in the Discord soon. Guess I gave the information on how it works. But oh, there's a question there. Does it work on Coppersmith NFT?
No, it does not work on Coppersmith NFT.
So okay, cool. So well, those are our leaks. We can jump onto last questions. Do we see any comments or questions in Discord, guys?
I don't see any currently. Peace of mind. I know that, let me read this question. Might help learn for advanced users too. Can we keep town, which we build in the comp, and move it over to the casual server? I'm pretty sure that when I was chatting with Volcron the other day, we were talking about APIs for that. So that may be a thing in the future. Whether or not will be available for everybody, I don't know. But that is something we have talked about.
Yeah, there's definitely
yes, Rob, this NFT's recorded. Sorry.
Yeah, there's definitely those quality of life things we want to add. It does take time to build your town up, and having bookmarked towns or being able to view your friends' towns or share your build with other people. Those are things we've considered. It's not currently in progress, but it's a possibility. I could say that. It's not an unreasonable ask.
Yes, Rod, the AMA is being recorded. We'll get it uploaded to YouTube. It may take a couple days, so just bear with us. I'll try to get the recording posted in the Discord as soon as it ends. What other questions we got? There's a question about mobile fixes. I know that there are mobile fixes that go in periodically. Mobile is a priority. I don't know if we talked about mobile at all today in this AMA.
A little bit. I mean, there are some fixes going in. We have some bugs that are being we're fixing, are being tested now. We expect to release something by Tuesday, potentially, with some more fixes to different bugs that affect mobile devices. So yeah, we keep on working on that.
See, Ra asked a question about the toggle again for the time of day. We're currently focusing and prioritizing older bugs and older NFTs and making sure everything is there like it's supposed to be and getting closer to parity. So feature requests like adding a toggle for time of day got pushed back a bit so that we could do those old things first, but it is still on the list for the future.
Yeah. Also, we did make some tweaks to time of day. Some people already saw them. I saw in Discord they were commenting on that a couple of days ago. Basically, we changed the transition times, right? So before we were saying, oh, the shadows are moving too fast when it transitions, so we extended that. Now it's way slower. If you think it should be even slower, we can do it. The toggle is something that we'll have to work on later after we fix other stuff in the game. But we can change the parameters in time of day. I see that some people are asking for longer times for midday. So those are things that we can do very quickly. So yeah, anything that you think can improve the look of it, let us know. I see Smoogie saying, when more jewelry? Soon. As I said before, at the beginning I mentioned this, but we're doing 2 competitions of 2 weeks of cake competition. And the plan is to get to some cadence where we are bringing back old competitions and mixing them in with new competitions and new content. So expect jewelry meta, in a couple of weeks or something like that. Not necessarily immediately after cake. Maybe we'll bring back something that people have asked for before that. But yeah, we'll be mixing them in. So expect more jewelry pretty soon.
I don't see any other questions. Peace of mind asking for basically a sales log, which people keep asking for as well. We'll definitely look into it. It's not a priority.
When no NFT competition, and the first thing is I see as reaction is a cross. So what do you guys think about no NFT competition?
That is a great question to ask the community. I would love to hear what people feel about it, because I have my personal speculations as to what people think about it, but
I see one-off. Oh, I see people going back to time of day, and the time midday in time of day is a little bright. We can change that, so we'll work on that. I see Duber asking about Gala Chain. We talk about Gala Chain. We're gonna go back a little bit in the AMA in the recording later. What else? No NFT. We would not know what to do without NFT. So I see some mixed feelings here about no NFT or some NFTs or whatever. So we'll probably do a poll later on to ask about that. So
yeah, I'll make sure I put it in the next survey. I've got another one coming out probably early next week, depending on how long it takes me to make it and how much time I have on Sunday.
Got it. What about something in between? What if we do something like, I don't know, these 10 NFTs can be used, nothing more? Is that something you guys might be interested in?
An NFT limit. That would be fun to coordinate if you had 15 NFTs you wanted to use and you had to pick them up and put them down. You'd have to pay attention all the time.
I see a lot of no. No, all or nothing NFT. Limit. What about a competition where the winners are always the same? What? Okay. Question: when treasures transfer will be fixed or at least faster process to refund ETH? That's not a game specific question. Like, we don't control that part. Peace of mind. You can reach out to the specific team on the store.
Yeah, if you're having issues with minting things from your treasure chest still, which should be resolved at this point, if you're still having issues, definitely reach out to customer support and they'll put you on the list to look into your account to make sure everything is okay. But once we move to Gala Chain, you won't have to worry about that much anymore. So hopefully that'll all happen.
I see two competitions move 1/4 of the prize pot for the current competition to. Oh, so you're saying 75% of the current competition rewards stay in the competition, and after that there's a no NFT competition with 25%. Immediately I see a cross in that. So I see that there are so many different opinions here in the community. We'll take all the feedback. Michelle will ask, we'll give a survey for different things, as I said before. We want to know your opinion on what do you want an API calls to do, right? And also what kind of competitions we can do. No NFT, some NFT, all NFTs, and so on. So we want to know your opinion. We want to know what things you think are broken. We've got a list for that and start working on that. So yeah, I think that we're on time. So unless we got anything else to talk about, I think it's time to sign off.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, wait.
Everybody have a great Friday.
Aaron1050. I got serious spinning fees this week, so thank you. I see a bunch of comments around that. So that's what the server optimization in the changelog, like 2 releases ago, was about. So we keep on improving that. So thank you everybody for your patience and for keep on testing the game and providing feedback on what's going on. So glad to see that a lot of people are seeing no spinning things this week. Cool. Then thank you everybody. Thank you for coming. Lots of info use that coupon. It's available until Monday, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Great
guys.
weekend. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Take care.